two good teams. First, I'd like to credit, obviously, Atlanta. I thought they played well today and got some good players. I thought in particular Almiron, very lively. I thought he found a lot of the ball and was very dangerous on the day. But it's a good side. Pretty even game overall. Obviously, they had the better of the possession. We had the better of the chances. Disappointed to give up that early goal in the start of the second half. But then I thought from there, the next 44 minutes was all us. I really thought we left it on the field. I thought we gave everything we had, and I thought we were going to get the goal to win the game. Obviously, pulled one goal back, and a couple bounces that maybe go different. The post, a couple other times where the ball's in the box. Where we don't quite get the half chance. A couple through balls that just don't quite get through. Again, you got to credit them. I thought their back line played pretty well today. Obviously disappointing not to get the 3. We'll take the point. Not satisfied with that at all. Now we got to make up for it on the road.
Caleb, can you just talk about what Broncos brought? We saw his fiery side in the second half, and he played in 3 different spots now. How do you feel he's adjusted to those multiple roles?
Thought he had a good game. Thought he worked very hard. Thought our whole team did. After we conceded, it was disappointing. To start the second half that way, give the ball away in a bad spot. It starts with that, just being casual, and then the reaction from there. They didn't give many looks. They had a lot of possession, but they rarely broke us down. Jake didn't have a ton to do on the day. Obviously, with that one, probably could have done better. But again, it starts with giving the ball away, casually, cheaply, and that's disappointing. I think because with their attacking group, we knew they'd have some of the ball and they'd have some looks, but they only had 7 shots, and none of them were real clear. We have to do better there. But I thought, again, the fight, the response, I thought the rest of the game, the way the guys played and how hard they dug, we have to do that for 90 minutes. And we're going to have a couple really difficult games coming up at Montreal, at Seattle. We knew, when I looked at the schedule, I knew this would be the roughest stretch of the season, 4 or 5 on the road. And, we're clawing, we're getting some points. I'd like to see more 3-pointers. But we need to build on that second half and how we played after we conceded.
The last couple of weeks in San Jose last week, and then again this week, you had a number of times where attacking players got in between the lines on you, got in between, where Guzman and Chara are sitting in the back line. What do you need to do to shut that down and to keep that from happening?
Yeah, today they got in between us, but they didn't create out of it. So it's not always just about stopping them from getting in between the lines. It's how you manage it once they get there. I thought we were much improved in that today. Where they play, they're going to find some pockets. And like I said, you've got a really good player in Almiron. He's a quality player, let's be honest. There's a reason that, he's had interest from some of the top clubs, prior to coming here. And I thought it was great. But again, when you look at it, outside the goal, they didn't create a ton. So that's what's disappointing, is we give up the goal and off of giving the ball away. And then, you could say, do we step, better there to put pressure? I think that's the key. We worked on that last week. I thought, again, that connection between our midfield layer and our back layer was better. But when they do get in there, and inevitably teams are going to, because that's always the space, so in 14 that teams are trying to get into, we have to get better pressure on the ball.
Caleb, just talk about your decision to play Roy alongside Liam.
Yeah, just listen, Lawrence played 10 games and I think he's done well, but Roy had done well also. And when Richie came back in, we kind of displaced Roy, and that was really the only reason that he was taken out of the lineup. So I just felt in trying to flip a switch and maybe just get a little bit more ball winning next to Richie in the back line. Roy tends to kind of leave the line a little bit more in the air and on the ground. So that was the thought. And looking forward in the next 2 games, obviously we're going to be losing 2 games from now, Darlington and Guzman. So we're going to have to figure out that holding mid spot, which is ultimately why we brought Lawrence in, to really play that spot. So that was the thought. You know, can we get a little bit better chemistry, ball winning in the back line with Roy? You know, his ability to speak Spanish also with Guzman, that never hurts, that chemistry there, and the way he plays, and then start to prepare Lawrence for to be able to play in holding mid. I thought today, you know, we didn't miss Darlington. You see that we're just not quite as good in possession. You know, sometimes you don't know how good a guy is or his impact until he's gone. It's not always the goals, but it's, you know, his ability to float around and find pockets and help us keep the ball, get out of tight spaces. And, you know, in the attack, we've been missing, I think, a little bit of chemistry in there, and it's because we haven't had the group together. You know, we had kind of Adi Blanco out, and then we had, you know, the next game Valeri out, and then we had Valeri and Nagbe out, this game Nagbe. So, you know, you can see there's a little bit of loss of chemistry and cohesion in that attack that we had kind of rolling to start the year. And the reason is simple. We don't have the group together game after game. But I still thought they pushed hard. They worked very hard. You know, Valeri's working himself back in after being out a couple of weeks. You know, so he'll be good after getting 90 minutes. That'll be important for him, just to get that sharpness and that fitness and that push. And I think it is a game where, you know, we leave the game feeling disappointed, but we have to feel good about the effort.
How close is Nagbe?
Very close. You know, I thought he'd be available. Trained two days, and he just couldn't hit max speed in his sprinting. So, you know, he couldn't play because he can't sprint full out. So we're hoping next week that he's available for Montreal, Seattle.